I know we've laughed a lot tonight, but if I'm to be elected chairperson, I will make sure that I'm strong and determined to help you guys and to make sure that your lives are enjoyable for 2013. Thank you.
If you guys agree with my vision of an active, sustainable, long-term development of community, please vote for me.
It's unfortunate that I had to prove myself to you in this whole debate. What I wanted in this debate was to show my vision for the future, but instead there were attacks on my integrity, in my ability to lead this house. I would rather you leave this place reading my manifesto, reading that manifesto, seeing every single policy that I am about to interact next 6 months. You have to believe that I am running for the good of this house. It's going to be a tough time. It might not be as tough because of the new information that was released. But I know there will still be challenges to this house. And what you need is someone with the experience to push us through these tough times. I will ensure that transition will be smooth as always. I hope you believe me in that point at least. I've already done it before. I've done it so many times. I've led groups similar to this so many times. I run for you, my people. I run for you.
All right, so we have a round of applause. Thanks for participating, everybody, and thank you, Adam, Tiffanie, and Abbas for coming here and speaking to us today. As you all know, elections are going to be at lunch and dinner tomorrow, so please put a voting slip in. Okay. Thank you, everyone. You're aware, tomorrow we're going to be electing our new exec and some of our committee members for 2013. Now, to mark this occasion, we are having a presidential debate in which you can quiz and find out more about our chairpeople candidates or chairperson candidates so that you can make a more informed decision. Now, as you are aware, our candidates for this year are Tiffanie, Abbas, and Adam. So can we have a big round of applause for our structure of the debate. First off, the candidates will talk a little bit about themselves, will make introductions and tell you a bit about their policies. And then we're moving on to a question and answer session in which you can pose any questions you like to our candidates. Just a few reminders that to be respectful, we would ask that you may question the candidates and anything regarding to the chairperson role, but no personal attacks allowed to be made. That's about it. So I'll just welcome our first candidate to the podium. Please welcome Mr. Adam Yusof.
Thank you, everyone. My fellow residents, my name is Adam, and I believe that I am the right person in this election. I believe that I have proven myself to be more than capable in holding this role. There are those who will say that I'm only here for 6 months, that I have never been IHMA. I tell you that their fears are unfounded, my friends. I tell you that they are wrong. I will reassure you that I already have a plan for the future. That I already have a plan for the future, my friends. My plan is to have early elections in the next 6 months. Whoever is elected in the next election will be under my tutelage and will be learning from me and gaining my experience. Experience that cannot be bought over the last 3 years. Experience that the rest of the candidates do not hold. I believe that even this is not enough for you. I know that chairperson needs to have a vision for the House. And I have that vision, my friends. I have a vision for a united House. I have a vision for strength in leadership. I have a vision in welfare to the people, to the residents of this House. I believe that unity of this House can only be built. It can only be built through increased interaction between the residents. And I have those policies in my manifesto, which I will distribute to all of you. The main objective of my unity program is to let everyone know, each one and each of you guys. It is a sad day. It is a sad day when one of you graduates without talking to someone else from outside your clique. It is a sad day, my friends. When you eat your dinners in your rooms and lock yourselves in without talking to your friends. I believe in leadership that is stronger than all other administrations before me. I believe in transparency, in responsibility, in accountability. I believe that those elected to power are accountable to you, the people. All of you deserve the right of elected officials who respond to your needs. And I am that person who will bring that about. I believe that the welfare of the people is very important. I believe, my friends, that this welfare is only brought about with some representation in every decision-making process of this House. That comes about with me, my friends. I am no voice. I believe that leadership should be organic. That I will be open to all and every view from each and every one of you. I will open my door. You guys can come into my room, if elected, on Thursdays at 8 p.m. This is my word. And you can talk to me in private about your concerns. Because I believe that this House belongs to you, the people. This House belongs to you. You need a strong voice. I am the voice. I am the voice of this House. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Our next candidate is Abbas.
Hi everybody. As you may know, I'm Abbas. I'm running for chairperson next year. Now, the first thing I would like to ask you guys is, what makes a good chairperson? I think a good chairperson should be responsible, should be determined, and should be loving to you guys. And so for my speech today, I have a few points I would like to talk about. I want to talk about the shop, and then I want to talk about the events and how you guys can contribute to those events. And I would like to add a few additional applications that I think would make your lives much easier. So first, I would like to reintroduce the debit system we had in the shop last semester. Like how that would work. You would go at the beginning of the semester, put $50 in an account with the shop. then if you have no cash and you feel hungry at night, you will go to the shop, get your food, and it will get deducted off your account. Much easier. Now, I also want to add, I want to make sure the shop has much more dollar coins next year for laundry. I know a lot of you guys are short on dollar coins. I am. Now, for the events, I've been in the house for 2 years now. I've been in IHMA for a year as an environmental welfare officer. I think Jonathan Tanko, who was the chairperson before Lisa, and Lisa did a wonderful job at organizing all the events as well as the IHMA committee. But I wanted to add, I know a lot of you guys want to create events also, even though you're not in IHMA, but you may not have the resources or the time, or you may be too shy to organize them. I want you guys to come to me. I will generate interest for your events. I will make sure that it gets propagated around the house, and I will help you with the logistics of it. Say you want to create, let's say, a CS tournament, but you don't have enough interest. I will help you get the program. I will help you distribute it. I will help you create a LAN network to play the game, or some other thing. A sports team. IH this year, I think has been of course involved in sports, but I think more residents want to play sports. I want to, if somebody wants to create a team, I also want them to come to me, and I'll help them with the help of the sports coordinators, help them create a team. I know Mr. Shengli over there likes to play basketball. I want him to come to me next year, and I'll help him create a basketball team. Or if you guys like to play cricket, an official cricket team. And with that, as you may know, the IH soccer team has jerseys, official IHMA jerseys. My friend there, Kenta, has contacts in Thailand. He's been helping us with the IHMA jerseys. I want to continue that tradition of getting IHMA jerseys. So if you have a team next year, or want to create a team, I'll help you rent the courts, talk with ACSF, and get you uniforms subsidized by IHMA. One last thing, I know a lot of people get hungry and order food after dinner. I want to create an interactive directory listing on Facebook with all the places around IH that deliver food, with ratings, recommendations, and coupons provided by residents if they want, so that would become an ever-evolving list of places that deliver food around IH. Because I know Tiffanie right there has been putting the menu every week on IH, on the IH Facebook page. I know Facebook is a very powerful tool, and she's been very successful at that. And I think she's done a very wonderful job as food coordinator this year. For what I've done this year in IHMA, I was the environmental and welfare officer. We organized, with the help of my colleague Han and Phoebe as well last semester, Earth Hour and Charity Night. A lot of people have helped me with Charity Night. Adam has helped me, and Tasnim, they were the hosts of Charity Night. They've helped me a lot with that, and I want to thank Adam for that, and I think he's been a wonderful SR as well. And the last thing, if I'm elected to be chairperson, I will make everything I can to provide anything you want and the possibilities of what I can do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Abbas. And our final candidate, Tiffanie.
Hi everyone, my name is Tiffanie and I'm running for the IHMA Chairperson for next year. I love the IH community, and I think it's a diverse community with endless potentials and talents that we can always use to improve the university experience of residents while being in the house. And for my love for the house, I would like to serve the house more by running for chairperson next year. My team's main goal, the ultimate goal of my team, is to achieve an active, diverse student body with a stable, sustainable, and long-term development. And in order to achieve these this objective, my team has come up with a couple of plans that we will work on this next year. The first one is we would like to keep the budget open for more resident initiatives. This could include giving funding for residents' personal projects. So if someone likes cooking or running, we will always support you by giving funding so that you could share your talents and share your interests with the greater community of residents. And then the second one, we will also increase the collaboration between the IHMA committee and fellow residents. This will include integrating a professional and responsive feedback system, as well as encouraging residents to help organize current traditional IHMA events and also initiate new events to make a better contribution to the house and to allow regeneration. And two projects that I would like to focus on next year are, the first one is environmental welfare awareness. I would look forward to organize more environmental and welfare-related events to give residents more chance to contribute to the environment and to contribute to the welfare of the greater community. This could include volunteer activities and environmental-related activities. And the second one is by setting up personal development workshops. We could call candidates from the university, members of the alumni, or even resident members to carry workshops about leadership, workshops on communication, workshops on study skills, and everything that would be beneficial in order to develop residents' personal skills. I believe that this will also facilitate the regeneration of IHMA and the regeneration of the community of the house as a whole. And other projects that I will work on with my team are improving facilities of the house, as well as creating more excursions and outing activities, especially for exchange students. So as most of you have known, I love the community and I've done quite a lot for IHMA this year. I've been food coordinator for the whole year this year. I've organized a couple of successful food events such as food fair, dessert fair, salad bar master chef, restaurant night, food surveys, mini suppers, and cultural suppers, which I believe most of you have enjoyed. On top of that, I've also been involved in other activities such as Palladium Cup, Charity Night, being a fashion coordinator for iNight, running for the charity run, and teaching for the Irish Chef Academy. On top of that, I've also had leadership experiences during my high school years by organizing fundraising bake sale events, global issue seminars, and so many more things. And with this, and with the goal of my team, I believe and I'm really confident that my team could lead IHMA in 2013 towards achieving these goals and the goals of all the residents in order to make IHMA have a brighter future. So please vote for me. Thank you.
Well, thank you to all the candidates. That was very well spoken. I guess now we're moving on to the question and answer session, where you get to, I guess, ask about your own concerns about these candidates, policies, and their agendas. So can I please welcome the three candidates who decided to review. Okay, so I guess pretty much how this works is I'm the moderator, and if you would like the first question, please raise your hand and say what you'd like. Okay. Nicholas?
I have a few questions for two candidates. First one, Mr. Adam. Now you mentioned about the 3-month term thing. I was wondering how the succession will work if we are going to have elections so soon. Will you be able to guarantee a smooth succession? And you must also remember that the circumstances which people, or rather the circumstances surrounding these polls next year are going to be very much different from the nature of the polls over the past couple of years.
That's a very good question. I know this is a legitimate concern to all of you. It would be for me as well if I didn't have a good plan. But I have a plan, my friends. My plan to have early elections will impart the knowledge and expertise that I have gotten in the past 3 years. That expertise has been more than what my other candidates have. And if they love this house as much as I do, they will run on the next election. They will run on the next election, they will win, and I will be professional enough to impart all my experiences to them. This is for you, my people. This is for you. I will make sure that the transition is smooth because I have done this before. Under my tutelage, I have trained many other leaders, I've trained many other successors. In the Kendo Society, I was treasurer. I handed over power, I taught the person under me, and he became as good, if not as better than me. I will make sure whoever steps up next election is just as good or better than me. That is my promise to you. I have never broken my promise. This is my promise to you. Hold me on that word. Hold me on that.
Well, you mentioned about being successors. I'm wondering, given the complexities of the job, if it's possible for a credible successor to be groomed in such a short period of time. And at the same time, as I mentioned, the circumstances of the job next year is going to be so much different from, say, the past 5 years or so.
If you were mentioning about the change management process as well, then I believe that I'm still the right man for the job. These people, if they are elected in the next election, I will train them.
Alright, so there's another question you want to ask? What was that one?
I'll give someone else a chance.
Okay. Alright, so we're Renee then Josh.
Okay, another question for Adam. So you said you tutor the people who are the incoming people after you. However, I argue that you haven't been on IHMA before, and thus, whatever you are learning, you're just going to be like a lesson ahead, like a week ahead, and learning whatever you have to teach them. It's going to be Lisa's telling you something 1 week, and a month later you're going to be telling it to your successor. So I argue that one of these guys should do the job equally as well, seeing your lack of IHMA experience.
You say that I have lack of IHMA experience. But I say to you, that I've run organizations similar to IHMA. People who are volunteers. Let's say the Malaysian Act. The Malaysian Act was 21 people and all of them volunteers. This was not an easy task, my friends. And I was up to the job. I wrote, I directed, I led these people. I made sure each and every one of them came down to each and every rehearsal. As chairperson, I believe that is my main role, to make sure those who are elected do their jobs. This has been a concern for a lot of you. I will make sure they are accountable to those jobs. I will make sure they are accountable to you.
Alright, Josh?
Okay, hi, okay, so as a resident of this house formerly for 4.5 years, as IHMA Chairperson and Sweetheart President, I've got a question for all 3 candidates. It's kind of a double-barreled question. So the first part of the question is about the executive team and how that works together in the IHMA environment. So we've heard things from all 3 of the candidates today. Abbas has said that you can come to me and I will do things. Adam has said, I am the voice of the people. Tiffanie has said something slightly different. She's emphasised the fact that it will be my team. So my question to all 3 candidates is, there are 2 other people who serve on the IHMA executive. They are the secretary and they are the treasurer, and it's very important to all the residents to know that we will be electing the secretary and the treasurer tomorrow as well. So, my question to all candidates is, how will you work with the team that is elected by the residents? Will you work with all candidates? How will that work, given that all 3 of you have kind of emphasised your personal policies, your personal standpoints, your personal leadership skills? My second question is that IHMA is a very kind of...
Maybe we should do the first question first. What's the good question?
Maybe if we can work in reverse order or something.
IHMA committee, all the members of IHMA, so that we all work in the same direction, we all move forward in the same direction, and no one's confused about what the vision of IHMA is and what we're trying to achieve in the future.
Talking about working with other execs, I think working with other people, as long as you're understanding enough, if they have ideas that they would like to go through IHMA, of course I'll talk with them and help them put their ideas through. And if they have ideas that they do not like on my policies, I'll also talk about it with them and make sure that everything, make sure that the ideas are valid enough to go through IHMA. But working with a team, I think, is not that hard as long as you're nice enough and understanding enough and loving, of course.
I know that working with a team is sometimes difficult. I know all of you have worked in groups, and sometimes group work is the worst thing you've ever done in uni. But I will assure you that I will get them to do their work. I've worked in teams many, many times. I've been leaders in some of these teams. And every time I was the leader, I delegated my roles properly. I gave duties to those that had strengths to do those duties, to emphasize on their strengths and to minimize their weaknesses. I know that some of us have, I've already created a party system where I've picked candidates who follow my ideals as much as possible. I know there might be a concern to some of you. If they are not elected, what happens to me? What happens to the team? What if we don't work together? I say to you that I have always been professional. I will continue to be professional even if the selected team does not get through. I know that tickets have not worked out in the past, and I've already figured it out. I already thought about what's going to happen. I've already planned for the future, and I will ensure that my vision will be the vision of the house. My vision is for you, the people. My vision is for you.
Okay, okay.
This is just okay. So a lot of this debate so far has come down to kind of understandings of what IHMA is about. I want to ask all three of you in one sentence to explain what is it that makes IHMA as a society different from all other student societies, and how do your particular leadership skills or teamwork skills fit that particular difference?
Will you give them 2 sentences or 2 questions?
Two sets. So the question is, what is it that makes IHMA different to every other student society on campus? And how do your personal skills fit in with that difference? You get 2 sentences then.
Yeah, I think you should give us some time to think about this. Is not.
Okay, everyone else can do that. They have questions, but candidates consider their answer.
I believe that IHMA is an organic organization. What fits with my leadership? I believe that everything is better ground up. That is my answer.
In my opinion, IHMA is different from the other societies because of the number of different international students that we have, and so the number of different thought processes that we have. And how I fit in there? Well, I was born in the US. I grew up in Madagascar. I had French education, and I studied in Australia.
My answer will be really similar to Allah's answer. IHMA is a student body with it's a really diverse student body, nationality-wise, talent-wise, ability-wise, thought-wise. But I came from an international background. I went to an international school, and I worked with so many people from other countries. So I don't think it will be a problem for me to work with people from other places.
Thank you. Alright, just because we might be a bit short on time, we want to do as many questions as possible. We'll have to need to limit responses from candidates to 1 minute per response. Is that okay? Alright, now I have a question for the candidates. And it's a bit of a stupid question, but I'm curious. So I'm wondering, why did all three of you decide to run for chairperson?
My friends, I run because I believe I am the right candidate. I see the day that I saw the nominations, I knew my opponents were not ready. I wouldn't say that they are bad opponents. I wouldn't doubt their abilities, but what they lack is the experience and the ability to hold their ground. My friends, the next 6 months is going to be a hard time for the House. When the change management process hits, the university is going to come to you. They're going to say, there's not going to be enough funding for this. They're going to say, there's not going to be enough funding for that. What you need right now is a leader that can hold his ground against the uni and say that this is not what the people want. This is not what the people want in a loud voice. I am that voice, my friends. I am the voice.
My main motivation for running to be chairperson is my love for the House and my love for the House. I really want to serve the House better by running as chairperson. I believe with my experience in IHMA and experience in other activities outside the university, I have the capability to lead IHMA towards reaching its goals. And I'm also a committed person, I'm a creative person, I'm resourceful, and you can count on me, you can trust me in carrying out these missions for a brighter future for IHMA.
My answer is pretty similar to Tiffany's. I run for chairperson because I love you guys and because I love IH. But if you have any concerns about the change in management process, I will also make sure to hold my ground and be as strong as possible for the House.
Alright, so any other questions? Please, feel free. Nothing too big or small. Shannon?
I have a question for all three candidates. So our friend Adam over here has painted an image of fear and doom over the change management process next year. So I have a question for all three candidates. What do you think is the role of IHMA in this change management process?
Obviously, IHMA represents the student body, each one of you, and we also represent your opinion. But however, although I promise to always represent your opinions and bring them forward to the office and also to the council, at the end of the day, it's not our decision to make, it's the council's decision to make. Actually, it's just a small part of the university. It's a bit sad to say that, but I will always represent your opinions.
I don't know if you realize how big this CHO management is going to be. You do realize that some people are leaving this house. I won't mention names, but Imagine a day when a cleaner comes into your room that you have never seen before. He just comes in, does whatever he wants, and it goes out. I think that as chairperson, you have to be able to find out if they are capable, what are their backgrounds. What are their backgrounds? I also believe that the change management process also involves other aspects of the house. Things like simple things that Michael does. Simple things like that, like changing a light bulb. It's going to be a long and arduous process now. You're going to fill up a form with CSS. And working with them before, I know they take a long time with doing stuff. CIS. Sorry. I've worked with them before in organizing certain events, and they take a very long time if you do not push them. As chairperson, I will ensure that whatever affects your welfare is carried out, that everything will be working smoothly. That is my promise to you.
Do we have another question? Abbas. Oh, Abbas, sorry.
Again, I'll say similar things to Adam and Tiffanie there, because of course IHMA represents the student body and the opinions of the residents in the house. I will try my best to make sure that everything that happens after the change in management process doesn't affect as much as your individual lives and your welfare in the house. Although the final decisions will always go to IH, I will try to put everything I can into influencing their decisions. Influencing. Thank you.
Okay.
Mainly directed at Adam, but everyone in total. So Adam's saying he's only here for 6 months, and we're discussing the change management thing at the moment. So don't you think the extra change is going to put the house in an even worse position when the house's leader, their senior student, also leaves in the middle of the year? Don't you think this is going to be worse for the house in general? And the other two, how is your continuous rate over the year going to be beneficial for the house?
Sorry, can you repeat the last part?
For the two of you, how is your continuous rate over the year, how would that be beneficial for the house?
I know you guys have heard this so many times. I know that I'm intense. But I really believe, my friends, that I'm the correct leader for this kind of times. I know that it might seem disruptive that I leave halfway through the month. But I really think that I will get the job done. I will get the job done well. And I will make sure that whoever is under my tutelage is going to lead you forward. I know that the change management is going to affect all of you. And if elected, I've said this so many times, but I will push for your rights. I don't know how much you can believe that, but I say this sincerely from my heart, that I will fight for you. I will fight for you to the end.
So earlier in my speech, I mentioned that the ultimate goal of my team is to achieve a diverse and an active student body with sustainable, long-term development. In order to achieve long-term development and in order to achieve this goal, we clearly need more than 3 months. So the analogy is like you're trying to learn piano in the first semester, and then you haven't finished learning piano, you learn something else, a guitar,
So our final objective as an IHMA team will be to always have a good synergy in the team and always be able to live up to the policies I said. And I will also add more policies if you have any suggestions. But I think you can't be that hard on Adam on the 6 months thing, because even if you think a change in chairperson is going to destabilize IHMA, I don't believe it will, because I think everybody in this house and the newly appointed IHMA committee members will always live in harmony and always have some kind of synergy in what they do. I know I may not sound serious when I say that, but I am serious about what I'm saying. Thank you.
Let me tell you a story. It's a very simple story. Let me tell you a story about Malaysian Act. Just 1 second. Malaysian Act, the second Malaysian Act finished, I knew that I wouldn't be there to lead the team for the next year. But I made a plan. The second Malaysian Act was over, I wrote a letter to the next director. I gave him every single thing I learned in that letter. I wrote what I experienced from writing the script down to what to expect on that day. That is the kind of leadership, that is the kind of foresight that you will be voting for. I assure you that the next 6 months will be smooth. I assure you.
Alright, do we have any questions from someone who hasn't posed a question yet? Okay, CJ?
Just for Abbas and Tiffanie, we know that Adam has been in this house for very long, and Adam himself has contributed to this house quite a bit. He has contributed, host events and hosting like several events that's not within his jurisdiction. So what has Abbas and Tiffanie done in the past 1 year to make yourself as a credible candidate compared to Adam?
Could you rephrase the question?
So essentially, we know that Adam is a credible candidate because he has contributed to the house a lot. So what has Abbas and Tiffanie done in the house within your own means that makes yourself a credible candidate?
So is that just asking them why they would be a good candidate or chairperson?
What have they done?
Yeah.
Okay, what have you done?
I've been one of the 2 awesome food coordinators this year, and I've done so many things. It has improved my leadership skills, it has improved my organizational skills, it has improved how I talk to people, how I make people, how I interest people to join a couple of events such as Dessert Fair, Salad Master Chef, Food Fair, and everything has been really successful this year. So I guess that's a plus point for me. And then apart from my job as a food coordinator, I've also been involved in Collegiate Cup, Charity Night. I've also taken the responsibility of organizing a good fashion show for I-Night, which is also leadership, which is also organization. And apart from that, back in my high school times, I organized a couple of seminars. I led fundraiser making teams, and my drive in all these things that I've done is creativity, motivation, and commitment. Probably commitment is the biggest part. Everything I do, I'm always committed, and I always want to finish everything. I want to start everything, do everything, and finish everything with all my effort and do the best of I can in everything I do.
As you may know already, I was the environmental welfare officer for this year. So running this year, first semester we organized Earth Hour with Phoebe, in which we raised about under $1,000 for UNICEF for an education appeal. We've also created a donation box in the shop, and in transforming to sign up week for Monday, second semester. We've also organized charity night, in which we raised a record of $6,175, which of course was up and 15 cents. Which of course was also, Adam helped me a lot during that, and Tiffanie donated a lot of things for charity night. Last year I helped my SR organize my floor party, and this year I've helped organize the 4th floor and 3rd floor party, and that's what I've done for the house. But I love you guys.
Sorry. Just clarifying everything, that the change of management proposal has nothing to do with IHMA funding. Let me make all this clear first. There's nothing to do, change management and IHMA events as two separate things. Okay? My question to the candidates.
Bye!
My question to the candidates is, if any of you are elected, at the end of next year, if you were to assume, if you were to sum up your whole presidency in one sentence, what would it be?
We are just like question, but we never ask.
My answer would be a community that is active, engaging, and continually regenerating.
My answer will be a community that strives to go forward, participates in events, wants to win, and loves each other.
My sentence is unity, strength, vision.
Just now I said what was the most unique thing about IHMA. One of the really unique things about IHMA is that it is a student society that operates at a college where everybody lives in the same building. We all sit here every single day, we eat with each other, we're in each other's faces 24/7. Now, Lisa and I will both attest to the fact that being a chairperson requires sacrifices, both to your social life, to your academic life. It means you'll have disagreements with people. It means, it means you're going to have to kind of take on a lot of burdens in an environment where you have to live with all of your members. So my question is, how will you keep your personal life separate from your role in IHMA? How will you keep all of these sacrifices and take those on and not let them interfere with your work?
Well, I would say that I have a lot of experience in managing my time, managing my personal effects, everything. Like, for this, say the last 6 months. Let's just say the last 6 months. The last 6 months, I was an SR. I founded the IHMA Chairperson. I was an acting chairperson for IH Roundtable, which coincidentally, I gave power back to Nicholas Shaw, who was elected smoothly and effectively. In the last 6 months, I held a part-time job. In the last 6 months, I did so much for this house. I did so much of this house, and I still maintain my grades. I still maintain my grades. I still have enough time for everyone that I love. And God damn it, I did everything I did for this house. I did everything for this house for you guys, and I will continue doing everything I do for you guys. That is my promise.
This relates to issues of time management. I agree that we really need to manage our time. That's why we have meetings for, and that's why we always want the committee members to attend to all meetings. What I'm thinking of doing is evaluating each meeting and make sure that everyone sticks to their agenda. And the greater IHMA committee is actually the foundation, it's actually the working hands of IHMA itself. So the chairperson can't work alone, the execs can't work alone. And the punctuality of the whole group depends on the members of the committee itself. So what I work on is improve time management, make sure that everyone's on time, make sure that everything's alright and everyone's on schedule with IHMA, so that IHMA is not a burden for the president or a burden for any of the committee members.
If I'm to be chairperson, I'm willing to sacrifice my time for you guys. And in the concerns of time management, I believe we're all university students here. We've all graduated from high school. I think we're mature enough to separate our personal lives from our work lives. So I don't think you should have any concern with time management. That's it.
Do we have any more questions from the crowd? Otherwise, we could wrap this up. Okay, well, I just have one question, kind of just for fun. All right, so what's your favorite thing, or what's the thing that you like the most about the house, and we'll make that a fun question. Oh yeah, and then we'll have closing statements later.
The thing I love most about the house I think you guessed it. It's you guys.
Everywhere you go here, you always have friends.
Can I copy your boss's answer? No, I would say the most important thing in this house is the community. It's you guys.
Alright, I guess we'll just allow each candidate to have one or a few sentences to list.
For my closing statement, I know we've laughed a lot tonight, but if I'm to be elected chairperson, I will make sure that I'm strong and determined to help you guys and to make sure that your lives are enjoyable for 2013. Thank you.
If you guys agree with my vision of an active, sustainable, long-term development of community, please vote for me.
It's unfortunate that I had to prove myself to you in this whole debate. What I wanted in this debate was to show my vision for the future, but instead there were attacks on my integrity, in my ability to lead this house. I would rather you leave this place reading my manifesto, reading that manifesto, seeing every single policy that I am about to interact next 6 months. You have to believe that I am running for the good of this house. It's going to be a tough time. It might not be as tough because of the new information that was released. But I know there will still be challenges to this house. And what you need is someone with the experience to push us through these tough times. I will ensure that transition will be smooth as always. I hope you believe me in that point at least. I've already done it before. I've done it so many times. I've led groups similar to this so many times. I run for you, my people. I run for you.
All right, so we have a big round of applause.